What the fuck is up, Juggalos? This is the Murder Mayhem Show. I'm the host, Mitchell. The top story, of course, is the release of WTF, the first single from Fearless Fred Fury. That came out on Friday, November the 23rd. I had a lot of thoughts about it. I did a whole episode of the Murder Mayhem Show podcast about it, so rather than repeating all of that here for you right now, I'm going to play you a little clip from the Murder Mayhem Show podcast that was recorded soon after WTF dropped. I like the stuff that they're talking about. Right away, my first impression was this sounds like a sequel to Terrible from Amazing Jekyll Brothers, and I've been seeing a lot of people online saying that same thing as well. You know, we're talking about a lot of modern day problems and stuff that we're facing in society, and I love that it's angry. That part is totally what I was hoping for. That is exactly what I was wanting in terms of tone. I was getting a little played out on all the softness that had been coming out lately, and the time just felt right for some angry shouting. So I do like the anger behind it all. And you can hear that full episode of the Murder Mayhem Show podcast. Just go to murdermayhemshow.com or search Murder Mayhem Show on iTunes or your podcast app. Should come right up. Now, they also opened up the pre-orders on that same day. There's some Fred Fury bundles. There's bundles with shirts, bundles with hoodies, bundles, bandanas, or you can just get the CD by itself for a smooth $10. You can also get the WTF single, either digitally or a physical CD on psychopathicmerch.com. So for sure, if you're a collector, you're going to want to be picking up that WTF single. And of course, the physical copy of Fred Fury will be the only way to get the Flip the Rat EP. So you aren't going to want to be sleeping on that either. Now, another big pre-order that went down recently was Ouija Macc's Water Damage. Those pre-orders went up on November the 28th. Now, the interesting thing to me about these pre-orders is these are not on psychopathicmerch.com. You actually have to go to Ouija Macc's Big Cartel store. So that makes me wonder if this is an actual Psychopathic Records release, but it does have a little Hatchet Man stamped in the corner. So it seems to me like the Hatchet Man and being on Psychopathic these days is less and less about actually being on a label and more just part of being on a crew, which is a fine setup. I mean, with the music industry the way it is today, it's nice that everyone has their own career in their own hands like this. So if this is the way that it has to be done for Ouija to be putting out music at the rate that he's putting out music, it's all good to me. I don't give a fuck if what the label says, Psychopathic, Ouija Macc Incorporated, or whatever the fuck. It's all good to me as long as the music's hot. And speaking of the music on there, this Water Damage mixtape will feature the monster hits such as Nardwar Glock.
I let my Glock talk. I let my baby talk. I let my Glock talk. I let my baby talk.
That was always a big hype one that he's been doing at live shows for as long as he's been performing at Psychopathic events. I remember he did that one at the Juggalo March, which was his first Psychopathic event as a Psychopathic recording artist. So that's the shit. It also features the song Say My Name, which you might recall if you watched last week's episode of the Murder Mayhem Show. I had said that I never heard that song before. I thought it might have been a new song. I thought it might have been some new Water Damage shit. Well, I was half and half right, because it was a song that had been released 4 months ago on his SoundCloud page that I evidently had been sleeping on, but it as well will be featured on the Water Damage mixtape, as well as a new song, Bitch Down,
Fuck this shit up, burn this bitch down.
which is only available on the physical copy of Water Damage and was also recently released on Ouija Macc's SoundCloud site. So if you want to pre-order Water Damage, go to Ouija Macc's Big Cartel store. That's ouijacollection.bigcartel.com and place your pre-orders there. And if you're trying to support the underground for real, it's important that you actually pay money for shit from time to time. So there is a $20 price tag on that physical CD, but you got to do it. You got to do it for the good, for the culture. Do it for the culture. So speaking of the culture, we also got some new hot shit teased from Big Hoodoo.
Time to adjust the game. I came to bust your brain from a city up in flames. Detroit, we all insane.
Yeah, that little teaser went up on Big Hoodoo's Instagram page on Friday, November 23rd. I think maybe it might have went under the radar because it was the same day as the WTF single, but you're not going to want to sleep on this because that snippet is sounding pretty damn good. And as we see in the teaser video, he's got some guitar played by that guy that plays guitar with Big Hoodoo sometimes at his live shows. And there's also a little Violent J cameo in the teaser there. So there's no indication as to what this video is for, though. Maybe there's a new Big Hoodoo album on the way. I really don't know. Maybe it's just a single. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's going to be the shit. I'm looking forward to that.
We've always done things on our own, and we found out years ago that we can do it, and people started following suit.
Tech Nine and Chris Calico made an appearance on Sway in the Morning on Shade 45. That went down on November 20th. And if you know anything about the history of Tech Nine and Sway, you know they go way back. Sway actually put Tech Nine in his Wake Up Show Anthem video back in 1999. That was the first nationally exposed music video that Tech Nine had been a part of, and that song also features such legends as the RZA and Exhibit and Eminem, among others. So Sway and Tech Nine have pretty rich history together, and of course, when Chris and Tech and Sway get together, it's always an epic appearance. And Tech Nine had a lot to say about his Booloo beer. He also talked some about working with Roger Troutman back in the day before the passing of Roger Troutman. He talked about his Nina album, and he also showed a little love to Psychopathic Records as well when asked about the blueprints for Strange Music.
We learn from Sick With It, you know what I'm saying, E40, you know what I'm saying, Master P, you know what I mean, Psychopathic was doing it back then, you know what I mean.
So that's the shit, and there's no denying that Tech Nine has taken these blueprints and blown it up into something completely all his own. So shout outs to Tech, always good man. And also on the Tech Nine Strange Music tip, there is a fantastic sale going on right now at the Strange Music Store. This sale is going on until December the 2nd, and a lot of the merch on there is 50% off, and that's shirts, hats, CDs, all kinds of shit. Even if you check the clearance section of the Strange Music Store, there's some shirts in there as low as $6, and I'm talking some super fat-ass shirts, too, tons of them. Like, you're telling me that you wouldn't pick this shit up for $6, or this shit, or this shit? Yeah, you'd be foolish not to, and I don't want to be a fool myself, so I'm going to have to place some orders before that deadline runs out on December 2nd. Yeah, that sale lasts all the way through up to December 2nd, so if you're a Tech Nine Strange Music fan, you're going to want to pop on over to the Strange Music Store and check that out.
I am me. I'm not Twisted. I'm not ICP. I love Twisted, ICP, you know, Blaze there, homie, anybody killer, Boondocks, the whole, but I'm none of those guys. You know, just
Rox TV conducted an interview with the ROC, yes, the legendary ROC. He had a lot to say. They asked him about his come up with the House of Crazies. He talked about his influences as an artist, some of which may surprise you. He talked about Donald Trump. He had a lot to say about a lot of interesting topics, so if you're an ROC fan, you're definitely going to want to pop on over to the Rox TV YouTube channel and peep that out. It's in 2 parts at the Rox TV YouTube channel. In touring news, we got a big one coming up at the beginning of 2019. That's the Juggalo Unity Tour. Yes, the Juggalo Unity Tour featuring Blaze Ya Dead Homie and Ni Anybody Killa touring together, performing both solo joints and the drive-by classics that we all love. I actually first saw this posted about on Fago Lovers, so I'm going to give a shout-out to Fago Lovers for putting me up on game on that. This tour runs from January 4th all the way to early February as of now, but there are still some gaps in the touring schedule, so hopefully you live close enough to make it out to one of these shows. I know I'm damn sure going to try. That's the shit. You can get the full lineup of tour dates on magicninjaentertainment.com/tours or ABK's Twitter page or the Magic Ninja Entertainment Facebook page. Just click on tours. And speaking of MNE and tours, there is an AXE tour coming up. Yes, Al Azul Ilu has recently announced that they are booking in the upcoming Axe's Family Tour with featured guests Axe Murder Boys and MMFP. That is the group from Lyrical Snuff Productions with Scum and Insane Poetry. There hasn't been any dates announced for that yet, but if you listen to the Murder Mayhem Show podcast, you know that when I caught Twisted's Fright Fest tour, I fucking showed up late like a bitch, and I missed AXE, which sucked ass. And when I got to talk to them at the meet and greet, I specifically said it is now on my short list of priorities to make it to an AXE show ASAP to make up for that fucking staleness on my part. So I will definitely be checking that out if humanly possible for me. More underground news. D-Loke's solo album, Ripperside. Yes, pre-orders go up November 30th. Album release date December 21st. If you're a D-Loke fan or a Cottonmouth Kings fan, it'll be something worth checking out. However you felt about that last Cottonmouth Kings album, if you ask me, there is no denying D-Loke's skills, so if you're a D-Loke fan, you're going to want to check that one out. This one surprised me. Recently, on Insane Clown Posse's Twitter account, they announced that Violent J now has his own personal Instagram account, and you can peep that at Instagram.com/TheFakeViolentJ. Yes, the very hilarious screen name, The Fake Violent J, a reference most likely to their Insane Clown Posse Instagram page, which is the real ICP. This is The Fake Violent J. So there hasn't been any posts on there, at least the last I checked, as of this recording. But God knows what kind of hijinks the Duke is going to put on there. No doubt many fresh announcements and behind-the-scenes freshness. So peep that out at Instagram.com/TheFakeViolentJ. Another piece of surprising news, the Rude Boy posted on his personal Facebook page that there was major JCW news coming next Monday. Now that was posted on November the 26th, so I reckon that would make next Monday the December 3rd. So I don't know what the Rude Boy has planned for that on the JCW tip, but I hope I'm not stepping on any toes by talking about things on Rudy's personal Facebook page. Rudy's one of those dudes, apparently, that you just send a friend request and he'll accept you if you're a Juggalo, because that's how I got in there. I don't fucking know the Rude Boy, so I hope I'm not being a dick by taking posts on his Facebook page and blowing them up here. But if it's psychopathic related, I'm going to talk about it. Unless, Rudy, you have a problem with it, then I will cut that shit out. But I thought it was something that the Juggalos would like to know about and that you would like the Juggalos to know about as well. So major JCW news coming at you next Monday, according to the Rude Boy. And some Juggalos getting the bone on Record Store Day, with some record stores reporting copies of the amazing Jekyll Brothers released on vinyl for the first time, with 2 copies of Record 2 and no copies of Record 1. Now, I've heard from Juggalos that it has been easier to find a copy of Jake Jekyll than Jack Jekyll, and as we see in this post here from Michigan record store UHF, it is a Jack Jekyll that is being shown as defective, so perhaps the Jake Jekylls are fine and the Jack Jekylls are the fucked up ones. So if you're wanting a fucked up one and you see a Jack Jekyll around, maybe you want to jump on that. And in other fresh music news, the Wu-Tang Clan organized a food giveaway, handing out 1,500 meals and 1,000 thermal sweaters to people on Thanksgiving. The Wu-Tang Clan was not actually present for these giveaways, but who gives a fuck? It said that the RZA and Wu-Tang recording label 36 Chambers put this together, so that's the shit. Who cares if Wu-Tang Clan's there or not? And those thermal sweaters look fat as hell. They didn't just hand out some cheap-ass pieces of shit. That's some shit that anybody would wear, featuring the fresh album art of the 36 Chambers album. It's not like they were printing out, promoting their new shit or whatever. This wasn't some kind of gimmick. They were putting out some shit that people would actually want to wear and look fresh wearing. So that's the shit. Definitely a big shout out to the Wu-Tang Clan and everyone who put that together on Thanksgiving. Mad karma coming your way, for sure. And the Eminem produced battle rap comedy Bodied made its premiere on YouTube Premium. The movie follows a nerdy white kid trying to make it in the battle rap scene. Looks very hilarious to me. If you have YouTube Premium, you're going to want to peep that out. I might have to copy YouTube Premium trial myself, not only to check that out, but that fresh-looking G-Funk documentary that came out a while back on YouTube Premium. Apparently, YouTube Premium really wants my money. So if you're an Eminem fan, or even if you're not, because the shit just looks funny anyway, you're going to want to check out Bodied on YouTube Premium. And in case you missed it, Bizarre from D12, he was on the No Jumper podcast a few weeks ago. That was on November 10th. He had a lot to say about Joe Budden and coming up in the rap game in Detroit back in the day. He talked about mumble rap and so much more. Here's what caught my attention. He had a little bit to say about ICP and their beef back in the day.
You never caught a fade with Shaggy 2 Dope?
No, they faces painted, so
Right.
I never knew what they looked like.
I've seen a couple of pictures of them with no makeup, though.
Yeah, I didn't get to see them until we got like grown
Right.
to actually see who they were.
You're cool with them now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We all cool now, man. It's Detroit versus everybody, man.
Yeah. You don't want to go to war with all the Juggalos, man.
Oh, hell no.
That's an army.
Juggalos is the family now, man.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny. If you're a Bizarre fan, you may want to peep out the whole interview on the No Jumper podcast on YouTube. And finally, a new feature on Murder Mayhem Show. This is called I Fucked Up. I want to offer a brief correction from something that I said on last week's episode of the Murder Mayhem Show. I mentioned that a new music video for WTF would be dropping on Friday with the single. That was incorrect. I actually mixed that up. As far as I can tell, there was no music video ever promised to be dropping on that date. There was a track list promised to be dropping on that date, which did not end up dropping. But as far as music video goes, I don't know where I got that from. Perhaps just an assumption. I went through all the ICP social media pages and Fagel Lovers posts and whatnot trying to figure out why I thought that, but I must have just fucked that up. So don't blame ICP for not putting a music video out that was never promised on account of me. I think that just about does it for this episode of the Murder Mayhem Show. You can peep out all Murder Mayhem Show content at murdermayhemshow.com, including the podcast. There's also videos, there's memes. Make sure to peep out the rest of the YouTube channel. There's all kinds of funny shit and remixes and whatnot. There's all kinds of social media to check out. Twitter, of course, at Murder Mayhem Guy. Please follow me on Twitter. Facebook page, facebook.com/Mayhem Show. And the podcast is easily accessed on murdermayhemshow.com or just search for the Murder Mayhem Show in your podcast app. And if you feel any type of way about anything I've said here, please leave comments. Tell me I'm stupid. We'll talk about it. So until next time.